Tina arrives at a Victorian villa for a seance. Inside the villa, things appear to be moving on their own. Hives welcomes her inside the room. She works in a phone shop. She has never done this before. Her sister recommended Madam Talbot to her. Hives tell her to switch off her mobile, and leaves to inform Madam Talbot. She sits at the table, and opens a music box. Lights flicker, scaring Tina. Hives comes out with a candle, and turns the lights off. Madam Talbot enters, wearing black robes, carrying a white doll. She speaks in high-pitched tone, and asks Tina why she is here. She tells her that her sister saw Madam, after she lost her husband. Madam says that people often seek her in search of Summerland, or the astral plane. She tells Hives that Mary is sleeping now, and he takes the white doll from her, and puts it in a cradle. He picks up the teddy from the gramophone, and turns it on. Madam reveals her face, an elderly woman, with heavy cataracts. All three join hands, and the seance begins. Things start flying around the room, scaring Tina. Hives warns her, not to break the circle, as it is their protection. Madam's voice turns demonic. Smoke starts coming out of her mouth. Everything in the room starts moving. Madam says in demonic voice, that it is in pain, and asks for help. A blue demon appears behind her, and Tina breaks the circle in fear, and runs away. Hives asks her to stop it, but she says she doesn't know how. He tells her that there's only one way, by smiling in the camera, and saying, "Hi, I'm on Scaredy Cam." It is revealed that this was a hidden camera program, and Hives is the host of the show, with his real name being Terry. Her bit will be a part of the montage of best reactions. Madam Talbot is played by an actress called Anne. Tina fangirls all over Terry, telling him that her favorite prank is the one where he dressed up as a gorilla. Terry seems uninterested and irritable. The actor playing the blue demon dwarf tries to talk to Anne, but she mostly ignores him. Terry mistakenly assumes the blue demon actor to be a dwarf. Terry asks another crew member, Gemma, about Tina, who he thinks was dead-eyed. Tina wants to get an autograph from Terry. Gemma tells Terry that people online loved his gorilla prank, but Terry doesn't want it in the top 10. The gorilla prank resulted in a young boy wetting himself, and a previous cancellation of the show. The show is due to return on a different channel. Tina says that Terry seems nice on the TV, but not in real life. Blue Demon asks for some water, because it's really hot, but he is largely ignored by everyone. Blue Demon tells Terry that his role was originally the spirit of a little boy. Terry tells him that they changed the script, because Blue Demon Dwarf is scarier. Blue Demon doesn't want to be listed in the credits as a dwarf, because he is not a dwarf. Terry leaves to put on a fake mustache, and notices water spilled on the floor, and tells the crew to mop it up. Gemma notices that the floor is already clean. They get ready for their next mark. The new mark, Peter, complains about his dirty shoes. He notices strings attached to the things on the table, and breaks it. A fake nail gets stuck in his foot. Terry leaves to inform Madam Talbot. Terry is about to introduce the arrival of Madam, when the Peter's cell phone starts ringing. Madam tells Terry that Mary is sleeping, and Peter starts laughing. Terry notices that the teddy is again on the gramophone. Madam reveals her face, with one contact missing from her eye. They join their hands. Terry hears a child calling Mummy. The monitors start malfunctioning. The blue demon dwarf appears behind Peter, but instead of being scared, he punches the demon. Gemma enters the room, and reveals to Peter that it's a prank. Peter apologizes, saying he didn't mean to hurt anyone, he just panicked. A crew member, Amanda, calls for an ambulance and wants to leave, but Terry screams shut up at her. The dwarf has stopped breathing. Gemma gives him mouth to mouth. Gemma says that the dwarf is dead and enters, wanting to remove the contact lens and the wig. Peter is distraught, but Terry tells him that it was an accident. After Peter goes outside, Terry wants to do a background check on Peter to see if he has any history of mental illness, so that they can pin the murder on him and save their show from getting cancelled again. Gemma gets upset at the thought and leaves. Pete looks at the monitor and notices the dwarf in the room. He runs outside and tries to talk to the dwarf. The dwarf says that he is sad and that he didn't like it when Terry was the gorilla. Terry notices that the dwarf has wetted himself. The dwarf says that he jumped in the river after the embarrassment of wetting himself. He is holding the teddy that was on the gramophone. Terry apologizes to him, saying he didn't know. But he thinks that the crew is pulling a prank on him. He touches the dwarf, and the dwarf collapses on the ground. He turns around to see a young boy in the cradle. Gemma arrives with the police, and notices Terry standing over dwarf's body. The episode ends with Terry turning around, having wetted himself, and saying, "I'm on Scaredy Cam." like, and subscribe for more videos like this.